Alright, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, you know what time it is. It is 8:30 here on the East Coast, and we got one of the best underground artists in my personal opinion. We got the one, the only, he is always on point, and that's his name, On Point. How you doing this evening?
What's good, bro? How y'all doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I hope everything is all well with you out there during this terrible pandemic, man. COVID is kicking our asses.
Yeah, I ain't been doing nothing but staying out the way, making moves, man.
Hey, man, it's the best way to be, man. You know what I mean? But don't let COVID get you in the meantime.
Right. No, that's right.
So I have to ask you, man, like, what made you decide to get into the music industry initially?
You know what? Music runs in my family, and my dad was actually a drummer, and I actually wanted to be a drummer, but I wasn't as cold as he was. So then I wanted to become a producer. The equipment that I needed was expensive, so I just started writing music with my brother Fire, and it just kind of went from there.
And also, you are the CEO and co-founder of the group Snap Mode Click. I have to ask you, can you tell us a bit more about that, and what's the story behind your guys' formation?
Okay, well, I used to do. It was me and my brother Fire, which is one of the members of Snap Mode Click. Back in the day, we used to do a lot of shows with Get Rich and Get Rich Rock and Ghost Click and stuff. And that's people in my area. I mean, we've done a lot of big shows and stuff like that. After a while, we kind of went on our own, and we just created our own thing with somebody that, like, one of the first people that ever recorded us. His name was Zorilla. So we linked up with him, and it just was some chilling stuff at first. We were going over there, hanging out, chilling, making songs, and then we got good feedback, man. So we went with it. We made our group and started doing our own thing. We had a nice little independent movement going, man. So that's a quick version of it.
And I have to say, man, your guys' music is phenomenal, man. I've been, as you already know, I've been spinning some of it on the radio station, man. Nothing but positive feedback with that as well.
Cool. That's what I like to hear. I appreciate that.
And I also read in an article as well that you actually refer to your music as struggle music. Can you go more in depth on that? Like, what makes you consider your music struggle music?
Because, well, throughout my life, I display, in my music, I display what I've been through. And there's a lot of high and low points. But at the end of the day, it's music that you can relate to. You ever heard some music or a song or something like that, or somebody you've never met, but it's like the lyrics are defining your life? To me, that's the shit that captivated me about music and changed my life. I was hearing something like, wow, this dude lives in Houston. He's like rapping my life bar for bar, and it helped me kind of just make different decisions than what other people were doing, and just be on point, do my own thing. And so that's what it is, man. It helps you get through struggles.
And that's true, man. You know what I mean? Some people look at music as just music, but a lot of individuals, man, they really use it as a coping mechanism to help them get through the struggle as well.
Absolutely. That's the most important part to me, man.
And also, I noticed that you have actually opened shows for artists such as Fat Joe, E40, Busy Bone, and many more. I have to ask you, man, because Fat Joe is one of my absolute favorite East Coast artists. I have to ask you, did you get the opportunity to meet Fat Joe? And if so, man, what was he like?
No, I didn't get to meet Fat Joe, man, but that was a packed night. Shout out to Get Rich Rock, man. He used to have some big artists come through. Sometimes you didn't get the chance to meet them just because they had so much side business going on in the club and stuff. But it was still cool to rock the stage before them.
And so all the individuals that you had the opportunity to open up for, did you ever get the opportunity to meet any of them?
Yeah, I got an opportunity to meet some of them. I don't know if you remember Young LA. He used to be T.I.'s artist back in like
Oh, I remember him.
'07.
Oh yeah.
He was pretty cool, man. It was cool being on stage with him while he was performing and stuff like that. Just he did a song called "Ain't I" with T.I. on it, man. Just the energy of my city when he performed that, and being on stage with him, man, that's probably one of the pumpest shows I've ever been at.
And I have to say, the one thing I have to say is like normally I always notice with the old school mainstream artists, you know what I mean, the ones that came out in the '90s, are always so humble. I've never encountered one of them that actually has been disrespectful. They've all been nothing but nice.
Yeah, they don't have to. They don't got that bullshit mentality. They've been through it. They know what the game brings, and to see somebody dedicated, a lot of times they have some respect for you. You know what I mean? Because it's not easy doing this, even if you're just helping other people. I'm sure you know.
And also, you have a single out actually called Redemption with Pastor Troy. I have to ask you, how did you and Pastor Troy get connected, and what was it like doing that song with him?
Man, it was legendary to me, man. I grew up listening to Pastor Troy. That Vice Versa was one of my favorites still to this day. Just networking, man. You know, you got to realize these people are people. You know, they might be famous a little bit, but just reaching out to them and coming at them correct, you know, they all got their price, man. But he was cool, man. It was so awesome to hear him on a song with me, man. You know, listen to him as a young kid and stuff, and then finally being able to be on a track with him. I think he delivered what I wanted too.
And if you don't mind me asking, was that just like an online feature or anything, or were you actually in the studio with Pastor Troy?
No, yeah, well, I didn't get into the studio with him or nothing, but we just orchestrated it through online, and he sent me his vocals and stuff like that.
Hey man, you know what? It's at the end of the day, you still have a song with Pastor Troy, man, and no one can take that away from you. Whether you're in the studio together or not, man, you still got it.
No, exactly, exactly, same different.
And I also saw on your Instagram that you have your own brand of Hennessy. I don't know. I want to ask you, can you tell us a bit more about that, and where can we buy some bottles of the On Point Hennessy?
You know what? No, I wish I had my own Hennessy. Maybe in the future. That was just a custom label I got made for my birthday, man.
Oh, okay. Because when I saw that, I was like, "Damn, man, I need to get some Henny." You know what I mean? Because like down here in Canada, man, a small bottle of Henny, like a little mini, is like about $75. So I was gonna be like, "Damn, if On Point has some cheaper Henny, like I'll hit them up, like import that."
Yeah, you know what? You might be talking about art cover I have with somebody, and they kind of was it like the black Hennessy bottle?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, yeah, that was just some concept art. I've had a few people come at me asking for some. I wish, man. I might reach out to them and see what they're talking about.
And you also did an album with FYA called Mentally Coastin'. I have to ask you, well, what was the inspiration behind that record? And of course, where can our listeners buy or stream themselves a copy of that record?
Well, FYA, Fire, that's my brother, man. That's who I started doing this music with. Really, just mentally coasting just means, you know, traveling through your thoughts, you know, just going over and over, kind of playing a lot of the stuff that, you know, you went through. And really just things we've endured growing up. You know, like I said, struggle music. We got a song on there called Born Again, and it's about our firstborn children. You know, sometimes we make music that a lot of people and topics a lot of people don't really touch on, man. And I think that's overall been what I've always aimed for. I don't like doing all the same stuff everybody else does. There's too much of it. You know what I mean?
And I don't blame you, man. A lot of these new artists, they're all the same. You know what I mean? You could flip the radio dial nowadays. You know, not on Outlaw Radio, but you can flip the radio dial on the FM. You know what I mean? All these I can't even call them rappers, man. All these kids, we'll put it at that, sound the same to me. You know, I can't even call them artists, man.
I respect that though. I've seen you, you know, respectfully have to turn some people down, and you know, you just don't take anything, man. So that's why I really feel honored to be on here.
Hey man, I look at it as if you produce real hip hop, I'm gonna be real with you, man. I turn down at least 150 people a day, and I get 150 inquiries. That's just via email. That's not my inboxes. So it's
Right.
I really have to make like certain people like yourself that are already booked. I try and make you guys a priority because if you guys have questions, you know, I try and make you guys a priority for sure.
That's honorable. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, you got like an interview for every day of the week.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And what I try and do as well, because I love, for instance, like yourself, man. In like 3 days, I have Richie Rich coming on, so I like taking big up and coming stars like yourself and kind of blend them with the legends. That way, you guys get that exposure as well, you know. Because artists like yourself, I already had a few of the national artists like actually ask me who you were and a few of these other people. You know what I mean? So they most definitely see you when you come on the radio station.
That's what's up. That's an honor, man. I see you got my boy Down Pat coming on soon. One of my partners, man.
Yeah, that I do, man. That I do. Like I said, I'm taking a liking to your group's music, man. I really am, man. I love it.
Appreciate that, man. I'm gonna get your address and send you some stuff. I need you to refer me to somebody dope in out there in Canada, man. That's one goal on my list.
To get out to camp, you mean like an artist or actually for a concert?
Yeah, for like to collab a song.
Okay, I got some people, man. Most definitely. What I'll do after the interview is I'll hit you up with some names, and if you check them out, and if you like what you hear, I most definitely can try to get you guys connected. I'm just gonna say I got a good one for you. Chuck Clare, man. He actually worked with ODB at one point as well.
Nice, nice. Maybe do an exclusive for the radio station.
Hey, man, I'm down with that. You know what I mean? I'll share some names, Canadian names, with you that I actually know of, and we'll make it happen, man.
Appreciate that, bro.
But I do want to ask another one that I saw that you did a collab with, man, which is one of my absolute favorites. Is actually Little Flip. I have to ask you, man, what was it like working with Little Flip?
You know what? That one was my boy Versatile. He's from Clarksville, Tennessee. I actually flew down to Houston and met him for his video shoot because he has a song flip called "What You Think About That." I didn't do the, I wasn't on the song, but I was able to kick it with Lil Flip all day, man. He was cool as hell, bro. He was cool as hell. Gave me advice. He's definitely respected in the city, man. H Town was fucking phenomenal. And he took an interest in Pontiac, Michigan, man, in my city because he's like, I'm used to seeing people from the South down here. He was like, "Oh, are you from Pontiac? Is that Canada?" I'm like, "Nah, man, we from Michigan. I'm right down, right down south a little bit from there." But he was cool as hell, man. Rio gave me advice. He was decent, man.
And also, the one thing I do want to ask, man, because I saw on June 25th, so really not too long ago, less than a week away, you were actually featured on OG Tech's new single "Walk Away." I have to ask you, how did you get connected with OG Tech, and of course, where can our listeners buy or stream themselves a copy of that single?
Well, yeah, OG Tech, man. We all worked on and off kind of rock solid music, which is T Rock. I don't know if you know who he is.
I've heard of him.
Former, yeah, he's a former member of Prophet Posse, but for a lot of years we kind of all collaborated and did music together till we all kind of broke off and did our own thing. And I built a good relationship with him, man. I even drove out to his place, once May or something like that, and chilled with him and got to know him. He had a radio thing going, and since then, man, we just been vibing, man. We got a bunch of songs together. My circle pretty much consists of him, OG Tech, and Down Pat right now, man. We got a lot of stuff going. And Walk Away just got finished as far as mastering, so we should be able to get a peek of that in the next couple weeks.
So I have to ask you on point, what's next for you, man? Is there anything else I happen to miss during this interview? Anything else you want to promote with our live audience while we still have you here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got an album called Ascension out right now. Like you said, he has Pastor Trey on it, has Project Pat, Fiend from No Limit, Mr. LPD, he's from Mississippi, OG Tech. Down Pat wasn't on that one, unfortunately, but he'll be on my next album called PTSD. That should be out probably towards the end of this year. And I also got Lil Kiki, who is from H-Town, on there as well. So, yeah, we got stuff coming, man. A lot of stuff coming.
So on point, this is the time in the interview, man, that I give a chance for the individual that comes on the radio station. Just a chance to give shoutouts to whomever you want to give shoutouts to, and of course, drop them social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and stay on point if they're not already doing so.
Okay, cool. First and foremost, shout out to God. Pontiac, Michigan, my whole city, man. Shout out to Down Pat, Fire, OG Tech, Versatile, A&P out in Germany, Parasite from the Netherlands, man. Dub 3030, my producer, Matt Reifler, my engineer, King Meach, he's from my hood, Get Rich Rock, man. Damn, man, so many, everybody who's fucked with my music, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to Melanie Rutherford. Shout out to my wife and children, man. They're my motivation.
I appreciate that, man. Most definitely shout out to you. And if you can, man, quickly drop them social media handles.
Okay, my Instagram is onpoint_official. My Twitter is onpoint248. On Facebook, I have my On Point artist page, or you can find my social page, Shane On Point Adams. And all my music is on matter of fact, it's on everything. So if you see it on the web, don't see my music on the website or Snapmo Click, please let me know so I can get it on there. And absolutely check it out on Outlaw Radio.
I gotta say, On Point, man, thank you so much for not only providing myself but our listeners with your time this evening, man. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. We're connected. We have each other on social media. You have my number. You need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. We most definitely can make it happen, brother.
Likewise, brother. I appreciate your time, man, and big salute to everything you're doing for the community, for the underground community, man.
Hey, man, you know what? You can't. At one point, I was underground too, and I'm always gonna show love for real underground hip hop. So, if people like yourself is making real, raw, rugged, uncut hip hop like they did, like what real hip hop is, I'm always gonna show people some love. But if you got that trap stuff, you please don't hit me up. But either way, on point, I want to say, man, I appreciate you, bro. I really do. You have yourself a wonderful night, man, and you and your family stay safe out there during this terrible pandemic.
You too, brother. Tag me in anything you need some help with.
Hey, most definitely, man. You as well, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you.